back to the Recommendation Studio. We're here today to do some recommendations based off the 2012 flick Django Unchained, which starred Jamie Foxx, Christoph Waltz, and Leonardo DiCaprio. Quentin Tarantino, as expected, was able to shock, disturb, and entertain his audience all within the 2-hour window of which that he was given, and I rated this film really highly because it was absolutely fantastic. The film has this tempo where I couldn't decide if I wanted to laugh my ass off or cry or leave the theater. I was so disturbed yet entertained, yet it was so comedic, I just didn't know what to feel. My first recommendation for acting is going to be Christoph Waltz in the film 2009 Inglourious Basterds. I know this is another Quentin Tarantino flick, but Christoph Waltz's performance in this film was absolutely insane. Possibly one of the best opening scenes of all time. Christoph Waltz was this perfect combination of quirky and intelligent and ruthless while portraying the antagonist throughout the film. He was really menacing. My next recommendation is going to be the 2006 film Blood Diamonds, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Connelly, and Damon Hounsou. I've pronounced that terribly wrong. And basically it is the exploitation of Africa, not just from people actually acquiring the diamonds, but from the military, from the media, from reporters, and then of course there's actual genuine families there just trying to survive, just trying to live, just trying to endure. Leonardo DiCaprio absolutely killed it in Blood Diamond. I mean, he nailed the accent, he nailed the lingo, he nailed the look of discontent on his face. Bugger off! Quentin Tarantino was one of my favorite, if not my favorite director of all time. This simply comes down to his ability to dialogue. I mean, he has a lot of other abilities and a lot of other skills that he does very well, but his ability to dialogue is, in my opinion, unparalleled. My first recommendation for Quentin Tarantino is going to be the 1992 film Reservoir Dogs, starring Harvey Keitel and Tim Roth. Reservoir Dogs is like this film of which where a heist has just taken place and you pretty much, as the audience, get to see the after effects of the heist, more so than the actual heist itself. There are a few scenes where you get to see portions of it, but for the majority of the film, you live in the aftermath of this heist. My next recommendation for Quentin is going to be 1994 Pulp Fiction. In case you were hiding under a rock, which lives under a rock, buried under the sea in a faraway planet, Pulp Fiction is a film which stars too many people to list and is inevitably one of the best films of all time. Now, if you just so happen to be one of the few people in the world that hasn't actually seen the film Pulp Fiction, and you want to know about the characters in the storyline, well, too fucking bad. I'm not going to tell you. You have to go and see it yourself, punk. It's a classic. It's a classic. Genre, we're going to be focusing on some Western films. The first one I have for you guys is the 2010 flick True Grit, which stars Matt Damon and Jeff Bridges and was directed by the Coen brothers. True Grit is actually similar to Django Unchained in the sense that the Coen brothers, also like Quentin Tarantino, like to emphasize more on dialogue and less on the action. And when the action is present, it's very, very present. Jeff Bridges plays a drunk in it, and what a fantastic, spectacular drunk of which that he plays, let me tell you. Last but not least, 1993, Tombstone. Tombstone stars Kurt Russell, Sam Elliott, Bill Paxton, and Val Kilmer. Everyone gives a good performance, everyone really plays the part. You can really feel the culture of like a town back then. If you're new to Westerns and you're not really into the genre and you kind of think it's all kind of crap, I'd really recommend going back and watching the film Tombstone. Guys, I kind of feel like this whole call to action thing is kind of for girls, but with that in mind, I'm gonna go ahead and ask the question, what is your favorite Quentin Tarantino film? Leave me a comment.
Antonio Margarete.